Hey guys, I recently did a video on SND. Actually, I did two videos on it, and one of you had watched it. Had one viewer, which is amazing because, oh my gosh, this thing has just gone bonkers. Um, I basically just had a well, small to me is a lot. So Um, I mean, I had 2,000 shares. I had like a $40,000 portfolio, or actually, my portfolio was 30,000. I went uh, into Intel briefly made a 50% gain. Over the last couple months, I've been making uh, some small trades here and there, and I basically am up about 17,000 in the last month. Um, so I went up to about 47. So I started with 30, and then now it's 47. Uh, as far as my sand position, of course, I wanted to buy it below two, but I had about 2,000 shares around $2.16, and I sold most of that around 290. I've been trying to get back in here and there, buying a couple hundred shares here and there. Um, and like this, I mean, it's crazy. Like I would sell like on a Friday at like 290, and then on Monday morning it opens at like 330. And I really have not been able to get. I mean, I've tried to have like 100 shares, 200 shares. I've tried to build back a position, and the price just keeps like no one has sold hardly. Like it just goes up 5 or 6% every single fucking day. It makes no sense. And finally, Wall Street has noticed. And I mean, this is a very teeny tiny, like, no name company. 86% 1 month share price, 3 year return 162%, blah, blah, blah. Um, they think it's very, very overvalued. Um, I mean, I did a video, and I just know just the three main properties alone is 150 million. Um, I don't know if people are shorting the stock and there's like a short squeeze going on. I don't know if they're doing share buybacks, but if they're doing share buybacks, I do not want them to be buying back shares at 52-week highs. I know the demand is going up for the frac sand, um, but this is just nuts, guys. There's no news. There's nothing. There's nothing. I mean, it went up 15% today alone. I think I bought some. I don't know. Last week, 409, and then now it's freaking 450. I just totally got out. I mean, I should have just let it ride, whatever. what I should have done honestly is I should have, I had 2,000 shares, sell 1,000, take a big profit at 290 or whatever it was. Maybe I should have sold 500 shares, and then maybe get another 25% gain or so, 50% gain, sell maybe another 500, and then just let the rest ride. And I wish I had 1,000 shares just to let it ride, and I would have rode out this roller coaster. Instead, I totally sold at the absolute the wrong time again. Um, I mean, this is nuts. I mean, this basically was the only news that had come out. Now, this is revenue now. This is not profit. Net income 3 million. All right, they're barely profitable. They are barely profitable at all. The only reason I was buying it was the book value was so low. I mean, it was so dirt cheap, but but now it's not cheap anymore. Now they got to make a profit. Um, but just to see this thing day in and day out, I mean, maybe they're getting bought out. Maybe they're getting bought out by a bigger company. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Like I said, it could be a short squeeze. It could be share buybacks. Now, if the share buybacks, this P ratio is not 45, it'd be a lot lower because your ownership in the company has increased. Now, I do know they did have an option to buy back more shares before the end of the year. So maybe that's what they were doing. Maybe, like I said, maybe there was some kind of short squeeze going on. Um, but the short interest is very low. And I basically got out before the 5 cent dividend thing. Um, because let's say you own 2,000 shares and you get a 5 cent dividend, whipty fucking do, it's $100. Like, why am I, gonna, buy $5 or $10,000 worth of stock just to get $100? That makes absolutely no sense at all. But all I know is I wish I would have bought a little bit more at $2. But like I said, this thing has not been profitable over the years. I mean, it's barely been profitable. And to me, if you got a company that is barely profitable, like, I know you want to reward your shareholders and give some dividends back, but I don't know. Like, if I'm holding this for the long term, I would rather them build their cash position, pay off the debt. I mean, I am happy that, over the whole reason I bought this thing was over the last few years and during the pandemic is they were buying undervalued assets at like dirt cheap prices. And then basically they were buying railroads and access to railroads and stuff. So they were like dominating a region. And this sand is kind of like to them it's almost like a rare resource where it's only found in a certain spot in the U.S. and um, it's very good for oil and gas companies because it's like 4 or 5 times better than the normal sand. And due to the well sizes and stuff, the demand is going up. So even at this price, even at 450, I would say it's probably still slightly undervalued because when I was, just saying the three plants, of course they own more than just the three plants. They have other assets as well, but I was just, given a margin of safety. Just those three plants alone is basically 150 some $1 million, and that was last year's estimate, so it might even be worth more. But so just the plant, the plants and property alone is 150, 160. Um, the other assets, I don't know what those are worth off the top of my head. Now, if they're profitable, if this company really starts turning a profit and can keep this up, yeah, you're basically getting the business for free. I mean, all the profits for free. Um, I still, even though I really don't want to be buying at these valuations because nobody has sold yet. So at some point, people have to take gains. You would think, like over the last month, like I mean, yeah, someone took a little bit of profit there. Maybe someone took a little profit there. Someone took a little profit there. I mean, like there has not been pretty much any um, there's maybe been 1 or 2 days has been like even or maybe down slightly, but almost every day it's been up 5%, 10%, not 10%, 5 or 6% almost every day for like the last freaking month. And I can understand, when you have earnings. 26 days ago was earnings. 26 days ago, and then they had a little dividend. Uh, and actually, I think I bought it on the. I can't remember. But whenever they pay the dividend, the stock should go down by that amount. So I mean, August they paid a 10-cent dividend, and then they bought back 1 million shares. They basically returned $6.4 million back to our share through repurchases and special dividends, and that's just in 25 alone. I mean, there was a 24% year over year increase. Like, this thing, when the earnings came out, like, did not jump that much. I mean, yeah, it might have went up slightly, or it might have went up a couple percentages, but to go up every single day for a month after the news, this teeny tiny company that's not even 200 million market cap. I don't know, guys. I don't know what's going on. You know, when I knew that it was way undervalued, that it was basically selling for 60 cents on the dollar, 40 cents on the dollar, something like that. Like, to me, I had an edge. Like, now, I mean, yeah, I could buy tomorrow at 450, but then if it goes down to 425, then I'm at a loss. Goes back to $4, I'm at an even bigger loss. I mean, um, you know, I was, like I said, I was gonna try to stay in it. You know, 100 shares, 200 shares, take a little profits here and there. But I mean, I think the last time I bought it was maybe 409, and then now it's 450. Like, oh my, like this thing is just crazy. Oh, no news. Now, I did post a comment. James, 2 days ago, I just got on the stock list. A great opportunity. All right, here's my comment here. I made two comments on December 3rd. Oh, actually, I made a couple comments. I said 158.9 million from just the three main facilities. Market cap 131 million, even with huge 75% rise in stock price. Last 6 months, they don't make a ton of money, but they are profitable and are doing share buybacks and paying some dividends, plus insiders buying. And then I linked the three plants. And then I said, I've been shocked. Earnings came out 3 weeks ago, but this thing just keeps going up day after day, 5%, 6%. Something is happening. Share buyback, shorts covering, perhaps a merger or larger company that wants to buy it. Even though I've been in and out of this thing in the past 4 to 5 years, my last big buy was 216. Um, so I was small, just trying to buy anytime it pulls back, which over the past 3 weeks been very rarely. Congrats to all the winners out there who held on over the years and bought low. And all the new investors are just getting in. It seems most companies need more sand base on the well size, even though oil may go down in the short term. Long term is still down 50% or so from highs. So to me, oil is still cheap, and you just can get a decent dividend while you wait. Um, and then I say I like how they acquire undervalued assets at rock bottom prices during the pandemic. How they have rail access, how most of their places are concentrated in one specific area, dominate a region, and now some of their investments they made over the past few years are creating good fruit. Not sure, but I do know they get silica from one of their mines, which helps as well. I'm not sure what the price of silica is, I have no idea. They still have idle assets that could be sold for cash or perhaps develop at some point. I like how they have the entire supply chain covered from mining to delivering themselves to the customer. Having rail access so close to their mine sites gives them a moat to be a low cost provider and perhaps drive out some of their competition, acquire more assets at rock bottom prices. Having a 50 to 100 year life of mines also gives it a long runway to make money, whether it be 6 million-ish uh, shares bought back or 6 million that's dividend last 2 years for the company. That was around 100 million market cap. This tremendous value to its shareholders, while still continuing to grow productive capacity, etc. And this type of sand that is vital to the oil and gas industry is really a rare resource. Probably goes up in value as time goes on. And if they do, say, drive out competition and dominate a region or niche in the market, they have a way to grow and thrive. I spelled thrive wrong. Good luck, all. And then this guy says, I've been saying that this has good prospects for a buyout. Pablo Global bought out something I owned 2 years ago with a similar business. This one could happen. More than women interested in business. I really have no idea what's going on, guys. I have no freaking clue. I mean, if somebody is trying to buy out this company, um, my guess is this thing could probably keep going to at least $5. I don't know. You would kind of be pushing the valuations past that. Um, I mean, this has the enterprise value around, I don't know how accurate that is, but around 190 million. Um, we're not far from that, so I'm not sure what a um, price of 5 would push the market cap. It'd probably push it at least to 200 million. Um, Now, someone that would want to probably buy this company would be an oil and gas producer. If they can buy this thing for say 200 million, and let's say in the next 5 or 10 years it, um, turns out to be $1 billion company. They would have made some profit plus had access to the sand and stuff that they need. I don't know. I might try to jump back in, but like I said, this thing has not really had a jump back in opportunity. Um, it's kind of like you just take a gamble and buy it at 450 and hope it goes to 5. Um, I mean, my initial sale was at 290, but I think I had sold some more. Um, I can't remember. Maybe three. Maybe I can't remember. This thing has just been a roller coaster. But like I said, anytime it pulls back, I've been trying to buy 100 shares, buy another 100 shares. Anytime it, you know, pulls back slightly. And yeah, I've made some profit, but I would have made a lot more profit if I just would have kept the 2,000 shares initially, or at least would have kept 75% of it. I mean, I might have made $2,000, but I would have Uh, and probably be up at least 5 or 6 thousand if I just would have left it alone. So anyway, yeah, guys, I have no idea. And you see the volume here. The volume is crazy, and this is the average volume. So I don't know if there's just day traders jumping on this thing. I don't know if it's, like a big trading group or something that's just piling into this thing, driving the price up. I don't know if they're being bought out. I don't know if they're buying back shares. I really think they are not buying back shares because, like I said, only an idiot would be buying back shares at a fucking 52-week high. I mean, the price earlier this year was under $2. I mean, they made a 10-cent profit. They basically made $3 million. They took a loss. Barely any profit here. Then finally, now granted, this is outdated, but I don't know, guys. I have no idea, and for that reason, that's why I got out because I don't want to. I mean, yeah, I could buy it. Could have bought it at 4, and I think I did buy. Like I said, I've been buying 100 shares here and there. Um, Trying to let 100 ride or so, a couple hundred ride, but as the price keeps going up, I keep selling. Make a little profit. Make a couple $100 every day. But I should have just probably left it alone. But I have no idea why this thing is up 15 or 16% today. There's no news. And if anything, this article right here, is bad. Now this makes no sense because they have it listed at fair value at 53 cents, which is ludicrous because like I just showed you just the value of those three plants alone is 150 some $1 million. This says it's 600% overvalued, and this isn't even a 450 price. This is a 398 price, 389 price. And this article came out today. So I mean, this thing is up. It's kind of funny that they post an article saying the stock is really only worth 50 cent, and the stock goes up 15% in the same day. Um, wow. I mean, if their earnings is continuing to go up, if they're profitable, which I think they are, and like I said, last year I think they bought back some shares. They did a special dividend of 10 cents, and then another dividend of 5 cents. So they paid a 15-cent dividend. And I believe last year they paid a 10-cent dividend. Um, One time, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that, but anyway, guys, uh, I'm like I said, if this thing drops down to like say 425, 409, 410, I might jump back in, but I really don't want to be buying at 450, $4.50, considering it's just gone straight up in the last month. Oh, no news whatsoever. I mean, I can see if their earnings, like year over year, went up 100%. Their earnings went up 200%. Their forward projections for next year is, Fraxane is going to be worth 3x what it is today. I mean, I can see it going up like this. But to have like a 1 penny beat or something on the estimate 30 days ago, for it to keep going up 5 or 10%, 5 or 6% every day, and then a month after all the news, it goes up 16% in a single day. I mean, this thing is bonkers. This thing is nuts.